I think we're about ready to do this. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on when or where you're watching this from, and welcome to episode 124 of the Co-Crown podcast. We are once again live watching Digimon Ghost Game. This is episode 2, and I'm super duper excited. I love this show. We've had one episode already, and I love this show. So let's just get into things. Brand new layout for the purposes of Ghost Game, thanks to the official YouTube account. I won't deny that I've acquired this from them. Hey, Pedja, thanks for joining in. Much appreciated. Hope you're keeping well, pal. Hey, Meg, thanks for joining in. Who said that? I'll just move the YouTube chat up a teensy bit. There we go. Right, so we are so this is oh my god, I can see Herlock Bones and Wormmon there behind me. That's great. So it is episode 2 of Digimon Ghost Game. Last episode was really good. We got introduced to our main characters. We got introduced to Gamamon. He's cute and he's fun, and a random arm behind me. Chad, are you seeing this? Chad, I'm scared. My house may be haunted, Chad. Somebody help. I don't know what to do. He was adorable in this ep. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. We're gonna be watching. I'm watching the, unlike last week where I did watch the episode. I'm going into this completely raw. So I don't have any knowledge for context or anything like that. I did grab the evolution for the other channel. Bakumon came to your house. Bakumon, lose your power. Bakumon, lose your power. Bakumon, lose your power. Why is the skeleton hugging Wormmon? That is Herlock Bones, and he is my new gay skeleton friend. So you know, because it's spooky season. Look, it was all I could do to get the chainsaw away from Wormmon. I don't know if anybody's seen my tweet, but yeah, Wormmon I think took a liking to the Evil Dead movies and now has just been brandishing a chainsaw. Like, I'm not even joking. So happy Halloween, chat. It's October, it's spooky season. Did I bring chocolate? Not this week. I have chocolate chip cookies, but that's not quite the same thing. Random arm in the background. I swear to God. Scared, chat. I'm being haunted. I need Kyoshiro and his charms for this. Charms. I sound proper Irish, didn't I? Charms. It's that McGilded fella. He's in my brain. Anyway. So yeah, look, last week was a lot of fun. You guys seem to enjoy it as well. Hoping this week's episode is just as fun. And, well, it wouldn't really be right if I didn't do this without this, right? So let's strap on. And, I know what I said. And, go. So, Bakumon, lose your power. Bakumon, lose your power. Yeah, I'm just chanting that over and over. So, let's go. So, if you're watching on the Crunchyroll app or your alternative means, we are starting as ever on the Toei Animation Puss in Boots. I'm gonna hit the play button. We'll count this down. So from 0, 0, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Toei Animation Cat. I love this opening as well. Still not over the fact that the band is called Wiener, but, you know, that there's worse out there. I still want to know what the deal is with Kyoshiro's hand, but I'm sure we'll get there. Lady Devimon, Wizardmon, Sorcerymon, I think, Arachnimon. Alternative, cough cough. Intro song does grow on you. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting the full version. Battle, Chaos, Wizen. Yeah, and Simbra and Doraemon is just the bunny from Summer Wars, right? But Tesla Jellymon is an interesting design. Holograms, a new technology. In the near future, paranormal phenomena occur frequently. Hologram ghosts. There goes the last train. Wasn't Last Train a 5D song? I'm pretty sure that was a 5D's outro song? Open to correction. Oh. Oh, Mummymon just straight up killing this guy. Wait, is he alive in those bandages? That's kind of worse. A mummy! The mystery of the museum. So it wasn't a dream. Wait, was he up all night? Oh, right, because Clockmon broke his window. So he has it all taped up. That's fun. I thought he bit his butt. What kind of school offers burgers for breakfast? No, seriously, that said something to the effect of special occasion burger or something. What's up, parents? He said the thing! Dad, what's that? Last Train is the second opening with the Dark Signers in it. I knew it. I knew it was an opening. Okay. I don't know. 5Ds went through so many openings and endings. I lost track of them eventually. He has wings? Oh yeah, we learned he has wings, but we're seeing them in use now. He knows how doors work. I can't leave him alone. The holograms are terrifying. Ruri! So I think I missed the giant sign, but I'd seen it on Twitter. The giant sign in the museum that says Mummies of the World has a typo. It actually says Mommies of the World. Which which I just think is hilarious. I was gonna say so did Duel Monsters, but that had nearly 100 eps more than 5Ds. Yeah, 5Ds just feels like it had more because it had less episodes. Uh-oh. They're all terrifying. Complete nightmare fuel. The decomposition? Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for, I think. These girls aren't scared by those? Well, no, I think they're the occult club from Cyber Sleuth, so I don't think they are scared. Hey, Chumon! Neat. That boy's talking to a bush! So they can see you? I suppose he did realize him after putting the dim card in. Although I'm surprised there's not like an Appmon way of doing that where you can just turn them back into holograms when they're not needed. Because Appmon at least let them do that so they could float on their app chip alongside their partner when they weren't meant to be seen by other humans. Oh! Oh! He wanted the food! Oh, that was adorable! Shiny. I guess they want the inconvenience back, I guess. Hey, Jackie, thanks for joining in. Oh, too spicy. Kawaii. Oh, this is just Staccato and Guilmon all over again. That's great. Scary being spicy. Chocolate. Aww. No, seriously, that yell where he was upset about getting the food, not getting the food, that was adorable! Aww. A huge man fully covered in bandages was witnessed kidnapping people. The champion? What? Champion means he's keeping a little translation guide. He's treating Gamamon more like a pet than a little brother, but sure. Oh, this is great. Oh my god, it's an Agumon fossil. He just couldn't stay away, Agumon, no? Oh, hold on. Crunchyroll is buffering on me. It's just on the Mummymon eye. Okay, he stepped out of the thing. But Agumon just couldn't stay away, no? I'm sure in a dub they'll call him his pet. Yeah, probably, yeah, that's... I don't know, the little brother thing might stick. But then again, we haven't had a season dubbed since 6. So, maybe they just won't bother. It's cheaper to do these simulcasts. A pet dinosaur would be easier to explain why or how a dinosaur is your brother. Oh god. Crushing her skull? Darkness is the path to eternity. Alright, he's edgy AF. And she's just dead. Oh no. What is with this keeping them alive? Okay. Are those all digital gates? What the? Seeing a mummified Taichi would be fun. Yeah. Or not. The abyss is the pathway to resurrection. Only the 2021. Leave 99 alone. Yeah, leave 99 and V-Tamer alone. Oh wow, he really is just the Chitose of the show. Wow. Okay. So Hero's idiot friend is just the Chitose of the show. I guess that checks out. Yoshiro! Oh, he's in his civilian gear. The one that looked better. You make them tempered glass or double paint? Welcome back from the hospital. Bye. He probably has issues. He has probably, yeah. He's got a tiny little jellyfish making his life hell, and he doesn't know it yet. What's that Digimon called? Dude, that makes sense. That he would think that dinosaur looks like a Digimon. Of course, it looks like a Greymon. Yeah, yeah. Oh, there it was. Mommies of the world. Okay. That's funny. Hey, Matthias. Gamamon looking at the T-Rex and going, it looks like something I know. That's cute. You're a mummy too? What? Gamamon in the bandages. Oh, man. What, is he following Ruri's blog now? Oh. Well, that's useful. He just scanned the thing? That's useful. That sets him apart from the other main partners. Greymon cameo later in the show, would not be surprised. Hey, tell me how to get to the digital world. I don't know. Sure. There are no problems with you? What? What do you mean problems? Hero dying or something? It seems some Digimon use some hacker skills. Yeah, Gamamon's elite hacker skills. L33T. It's skills with a Z. This episode's a bit slower than last week's, but that's fine. Not everything has to be super fast-paced. As I kind of said last week, it does let the scenarios breathe and give you time to kind of digest what's going on. Mummymon like Pennywise collecting all his victims for later. Oh god. Yeah. Oh. don't want to die yet. See great signs. What? What is going on? Soon, just as the blossoms bloom in heaven, your body and soul shall meet in its time of resurrection. To my powers of purification and attain eternal peace. This is rather creepy. I mean, it makes sense for a horror-themed show, but hero sent. Wow, Gamamon, good strength. A protag who can actually use his head. It's a weird sight. Yeah, a little bit. It's nice to see a protagonist partner not be a complete idiot for a change. Patient. When in doubt, just shoot them, right? I promise to heal you all. What does he think he is? Some kind of like Digimon doctor? Are you a doctor? Yeah, okay. Come to the human world and seen with my own eyes. This is the way to obtain eternal life. The art of medicine. So, mummification is medicine. I mean, I see the logic, right? Him being a mummy, I see the logic. Arms in the background again. Gotcha. All the little things that feed into his science influence background, yeah. Uh-oh. Evolution time. Bread. Oh, he is. Oh, he's just talking about food. He is just talking. He's talking about food. Poor baby. Aw. This is taking the hungry, the champion. So chocolate is his motivator, huh? Okay, I can vibe with that. I can vibe with that. I thought it was a meme, but apparently not. Apparently not. His motivation to get better is food. Evolution sequence! It's over in a flash. Betel Gamamon. Hey, Desmond. Jinka. Yeah, Betel Gamamon looks like a Sonic character, but bloody awesome. Sore shot. Hey, Juggernaut. He's got crotch armor. Sure, why not? A doctor can't be killing their patients. Humans don't resurrect. Huh. The evolution just wore off. The song is great. What's an evolution? I'm hungry. Okay. Alright, Agumon. I've misunderstood. Huh. I was wondering how they defeat Mummymon, given the level difference, even if Gamamon evolved. And this does tie back to what Hero's voice actress was saying, that conflicts would be resolved a lot differently. And I do like that everything isn't just attack until you hit bigger. Hey! Angoramon. I guess he flies like Tails. He can use his ears like Tails uses his tails. That's fun. So I guess we're getting Ruri and Angoramon in the next episode. He's basically Shoutmon. Yeah, he does look a bit like Omega Shoutmon. He used his ears as a helicopter. Appreciate that they went with an alternate route over a champion beating an ultimate. Yeah, I do appreciate that as well, but even like last week with Clockmon and Clockmon getting away, and then this week it's like talking to the opponent and go, no, you've misunderstood things, and setting him on the right path to learn how to be an actual doctor. Joe says hi. That's really fun. Omega Shoutmon before his redesign. Yeah, definitely. So let's see. What's the preview for next week? I hear humans store their memories as data. Erica? In your vast collection of photo data, do you see anything strange? Oh god. Car crash? Oh god. Did this show stop killing people? Next episode, Scribbles. What a non-threatening name after the mouth-stitched man and the mystery of the museum. Scribbles. Yeah, this was another great episode. I mean, it's a step down from last week, but really not by much. The way they resolve things was really fun. Seeing an evolution. That the evolutions might be that quick will really help. Hopefully, everybody get, similar evolution sequences rather than Hero getting them all and everyone else just getting, flash animations, if even. Yeah, look, I'm not gonna harp on Adventure 2020. We're done with that. Adventure 2020 eating people. Ghost Game murdering people. Yeah, it's a bit of a step up, isn't it? It's a tiny bit of a step up. But I still dig it. I think it's really cool. I really enjoy the bond between Hero and Gamamon. Really like the suggestion of things. Mon shows up unexpectedly and knows nothing of the real world. Gets a set impression from wherever they emerged and just simply know no better. Director did say the show is not just fight. Yeah. Yeah, and like Hero's voice actress in that interview also said, like conflicts will be resolved a lot differently in this show. So I'm really looking forward to it. They're doing a great job of that so far. And this idea that we'll see Mummymon again, I believe we will. Now, he could just disappear for the next 50 episodes, but I think we'll probably see him again. I don't think that's too far out of the realm of possibility. It'll be a lot quicker later on when everyone is evolving at the same time and it doesn't take up half the episode. Yeah, if the evolutions are just blink and they're there, yeah. I mean, they could, like, for the level of CG in this, they could have easily gone the Tamers or Savers evolution sequence route, where, you know, you get really detailed into, like, the data coming apart and restructuring as the new monster. But no, this was just go into orb break. So kind of like the movie evolutions, right? When the eggs turn up, but just with a lot more budget behind it. So yeah, like, again, much like last week, I don't really have any complaints about this. You know, they I think you would get Arcadimon with him this time? Or do you mean Arachnimon? Arukenimon, maybe. Is that who? Arachnimon. Mixed bag. I don't mind if the champion is rushed, if the ultimate are somehow important mons that get a full evolution. The franchise has had plenty of good ones in the past. Yeah, definitely. No, I do agree. But I don't really have any complaints this week. Like, they set up everything appropriately. They gave reasoning for why things were happening. Any thoughts on Betelgeuse and his attack? I like the design. I mean, it was the first one I went for on my own Digivice V. So my Gamamon is currently a Betelgeuse. But I do have a second one that I might go with the Gulus Gamamon route or one of the others. But primarily I've gone for Betelgeuse on my own one. I do love the Triceratops with the railguns for horns, though. I'll never get over that that's a thing, and I do love it. But Betelgeuse looking like some sort of Sonic character Shoutmon thing hybrid it's just awesome. And then it was pointed out to me that he, for some reason, he has crotch armor, and I just laugh at that, and I go, yeah, sure, why not? Of course you don't have a complaint when you get in-show excited and not want to hit someone with a chair. Well, it's only Taichi I ever wanted to smack with a chair, right? The other characters were fine, if not a little underwhelming. Their evolutions remind me of Cross Wars Season 3. I can see it. Yeah, I can see it. For the super evolutions. Yeah, I can see that. But I think that graphical style would lend itself really well to a tamer style of evolution. So I don't know if it's a case of it was just that quick for the episode, and maybe we'll get a more drawn out version later, but I kind of hope we don't. I kind of hope it's that we just... The evolutions are just punchy. You know, the sequence is quick, it's to the point, and we get there. Because shorter evolution sequences are good because they give you more screen time for, you know, evolutions are, you know, short and sweet evolutions are good because they can give us more screen time for plot to happen. You know, and as Meg said, we don't spend half an episode doing evolution sequences. So it's, yeah. I did watch your When Do We Say Enough video. Yeah, and I stand by a lot of what I said in that video. Like, that was about 2 years ago now, and I stand by a lot of that video because a lot of my points were proven true in regards to adventure oversaturation. Geek Takupedia, Digimon 2020 trash. Well, we're watching Digimon Ghost Game, so that's not something we have to worry about this week now, is it? Digimon Ghost Game God. Wow, okay. That took a turn. Well, you know, we're not talking about 2020 anymore. It never happened. But yeah, no, look, this was really fun. I guess I'll get to the part where I rank the episode. I don't have an awful lot of, like, I keep trying to make this point and then I get distracted by the chat, but I don't have any complaints. Like, Hero sneaking out of the dorm was explained. He didn't even sneak out. He just gave a form to... Ooh, I got a freeze going. Okay, hold on. It's probably because I clicked on something. OBS is just... Okay, we're back. Sorry, yeah, OBS, I clicked on something wrong and my potato went, no. So... There's probably be a delay. So anyway... It's my fault. I had the link saved in the thing, and when I tried to take it out, I clicked on the links, and now it's trying to open Chrome, which I shouldn't do when I'm live, because laptop generally tends to say no. There we go. Yeah. Anyway. Sorry, technical hiccup. Battle Gamamon is cool. Soar Shot is themed after 4865 Soar Asteroid. I initially thought it was a mistranslation for Soul Shot. Oh, like a soul as in solar as in sun. Yeah, that would make sense as well. I can't really comment on the attack itself because I don't think we really got to see it used in its full context here. It was more so to not disarm Mummymon, but just kind of stop him for a moment before Hero could then talk some sense into him. Mega evolutions have not aged well at Tamers. Yeah, I suppose yeah, naked children merging with Digimon. Yeah, it does. They don't age well. I think graphically they still kind of hold up, but the concept is it's a bit dicey. But I hope there'll be ultimate evolutions like Tamers as well. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. On this, to get Betel Gamamon, to get Betel Gamamon to evolve into Kano Weissmon, you have to get the appropriate trophies and win rate and things. But another requirement is to Jogress with a data type. And I wonder if we're going to see Jogress in this show, or if that's just something for this. I do wonder if we're going to see Jogress in this show, or if it's going to bring back some older concepts. This show has potential to be better than Tamers. I wouldn't make a call like that 2 episodes in, but it has potential to be bloody awesome in the long run. If they keep up this writing, they keep up this pace and tone, and it does look like we're getting that, not next week, but the following week. It does look like we're getting that with the Monster of the Week then, and the car crash and everything else. It does finally seem like Ruri is going to take a bit more screen time, and maybe she'll get to meet Angoramon next in the next episode, because they do seem to be focusing on him quite a bit in the trailer. Definitely potential to be great. Yeah, I don't know about better than Tamers. I mean, it's 2 episodes in. I don't want to make that sort of sweeping statement, but yeah, I guess we'll know, and I guess we'll have a better idea of that, in about 10 or 20 weeks. If this does keep up and it doesn't get watered down to some degree. Hero and Gamamon has the best brother relationship, has the best brother relationships in Tai and Karuta. Geek. We are not discussing that. We are not discussing that, and I no, I'm not getting into that. I'm not. That's bait, and I'm not taking it. That is bait. I'm not taking that. Sorry, no. Biomerge is epic. Oh yeah, no, the concept is great, and I think graphically the evolution sequences hold up. But it is just, you know, the naked children aspect. I'm just like, Japan, why? Japan, why? You know, I get it from a symbolism, you know, it's their purity and it's their spirit and it's blah blah. But looking back on it now, it's just could probably do without that. Could really probably do without that. I'm sure it'll slow down with filler, but I feel like the filler of this will be better than some of the plot episodes of 2020. That's sad, and yeah, probably true. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night indeed, Skip. Did I move yet? No, that is next Sunday. So, my next few videos will be with this background behind me. But luckily, there's no episode next week, right? So there's no episode next Sunday. So it'll be from the following Sunday then. I'll have my new background and maybe a co-host. Oh, this will be fun. My co-host is like to the right of me here. This creepy arm that you've been seeing stealing my biscuits. But that's a setup for 2 weeks from now, and we're gonna work out the logistics of that and how we're gonna get that to work. So do look forward to it, as they say. Am I going to play Metroid Dread? I am. You might have seen the video that went up, but I did get the special edition with all the goodies. I do plan to play it. I just haven't had a lawful... Oh god, it's a heavy box. I just haven't had an awful lot of time this weekend because reasons. So yeah, but it's definitely something that I'll be playing over on the Twitch channel. So hey, it's there. You know where to find me. Tamers had the most mature plot. I doubt Ghost Game can top that aspect, but maybe be more entertaining. The main character seems to be entertaining to watch. Oh yeah. I would definitely agree with that. Ghost Game, as creepy as it is, hasn't yet gone into Evangelion territory, and I kind of don't want it to 3 episodes in. So yeah, like I don't see Ghost Game's tone so far doesn't lend me to believe that it's going to step into Evangelion territory. So I don't think it'll be more mature than Tamers, or that sort of grown up. But you know, as long as the characters continue to be interesting, as long as they're developed well as people and characters, and you know, they have their personalities that make them stand out and things. You know, I definitely think the characterization has the potential to be one of the better across the franchise. They're doing a really good job with it so far. I think they just keep up. I just think they keep up the pace of what they're doing now and continue to develop on top of it. And I think we're going to be in for a good show regardless. To be on par with Tamers, characters need to have consistent arcs, each with a progressively difficult threats. Yeah, you know, and it's tough to say that we're not going to get that 2 episodes in, but I just don't think we're going to see D-Reaper levels of mind crushing, you know? I don't think it's going to step into Evangelion levels of, good God, what is going on? I feel like if they rush in, it'll feel like they're relying on nostalgia knowledge. They need to keep it as if the audience is all brand new. Yeah, and that was the problem I had with Adventure 2020, where that's what Adventure 2020 should have done, but Adventure 2020 didn't seem to know whether it wanted to appeal to an all-new audience or if it wanted to appeal to the nostalgic value. And that's where a lot of the series' problems lie. But we're not talking about Adventure 2020. It never happened. Mummymon was scary in this episode. He was. Very, just willy-nilly showing up, grabbing people by the head, and then wrapping them in bandages and talking about eternal life and the pathway to darkness and all. I was like, okay, yeah. I don't think you're as creepy as Clockmon, but you're definitely up there. That's what happens when the writers write for 3 characters and not 8. Yeah. And so far we're still only writing for 2 characters, right? Kyoshiro had all of 5 lines this episode, and I think Ruri had like 3. So the next episode is going to be really telling as we start to broaden the outlook of the world from Hiro's perspective, and all these characters start joining in on his adventure. Like, one thing I liked about this is Hiro consistently sticking to, where is my dad and how do I get to the digital world? They weren't just throwaway lines that he asked Gamamon and just got fed up because Gamamon is a baby. He's the best baby, but he's still a baby. The first thing, Mummymon steps out of that, wasn't quite a painting, but he steps out from that corpse that's on display, and the first thing Hiro does is, oh, you're a Digimon. Do you know my dad? No? Okay. How do I get to the digital world? And I want that to continue. I want Hiro's quest to be able to get to the digital world to just continue being a thing. Oh, hi, Eldritch Abomination. Do you know my dad? I just think that'd be funny. And consistent. It would just be consistent characterization. That's his thing. Gamamon just crying out for food that he's going to miss if he dies is hungry protagonist partner syndrome has obviously not escaped Gamamon, but it doesn't look like it's going to be his whole personality. Looking at you, Agumon. Was Adventure that bad to the point? Was Adventure that bad to the point you think it never happened? I'm obviously being facetious. Maybe not obviously. I'm being facetious about Adventure 2020 because I don't want to be comparing it to this show every week. I want to be able to talk about this show and just this show and not go, this is where Adventure 2020 was a pile of garbage, because I did that for 70 weeks and I'm tired of that. This show excites me. This show is fun. 2 episodes in, recency bias, sure. But in 2 episodes of this show, it already addressed like a bunch of problems that I had with Adventure 2020. So Adventure 2020 may as well have not happened. But for the most part, yes, I'm being facetious when I say it never happened. I'm being facetious. Mummymon was never really scary in 02, despite... No, he wasn't. He wasn't scary in 02 because he was basically James from Pokemon. That's why my favorite part of Adventure 2020 was when it ended. Ayo! But yeah, no, Mummymon in 02 was basically just James from Pokemon, right? Woohoo! You could have just given him the James. Oh yes, nonsense, and it would have worked, But he also spent half the show simping for Arachnimon, which was kind of adorable, but then got grating because oof. Yeah, like the girl said no, Mummymon, leave it be. No means no. But I feel like Sleek. I feel like the villains here actually have a character, and some of them are not actually evil, just misunderstood. Exactly, and that's what Mummymon. That's what the point of Mummymon was, where, as it was said earlier in the chat, he emerged in a museum and went, "Oh, that's how this works. This is how I save people. I'm a Digimon doctor, but I don't really know how medicine works. You know, and mistaking a museum for a hospital, I guess, is really fun. It's a really fun concept, and then for him to be put on the right path as opposed to, well, you're evil and you've hurt a bunch of people, so we're just going to attack you until you say bye bye. It's just so different, and I really love it. I do. I want to see more of this. Like, we are going to have to start killing Digimon eventually. I get that. Not all of them are going to be able to be saved. Some of them, like Clockmon, are going to be evil because of evil's sake, and we are going to have to kill them. But if we have situations like this where we can look at the interactions between humans and Digimons simultaneously, and because that's what this franchise has always been trying to get to, and we even talked about before, has always kind of fallen off of, right? We talked about the ending of Savers last week, where it's the human world and the digital world against God, right? Against the Yggdrasil. And the whole thing of that is, we're going to live together forever. And Yggdrasil dies, and it's like, yeah, we don't know when the portal's going to open ever again, so all the Digimon have to go back. Well, that sucks. Adventure 1, or Adventure 99. Kind of the same thing. Without 02, that would have been left ambiguous. Tamers got a questionably canon movie to say that everything kind of turned out all right. Cross Wars, I wonder if levels don't matter like Cross Wars. No, levels matter. That's why I think that's why Mummymon wasn't beaten as well. I think part of that is just to not have a champion whoop an ultimate. Sure, first time evolution bonus is a thing, like an RPG stat, first time power boost is usually in effect with these things, and the first time you evolve into a thing is always going to be much stronger than the second, third, fourth, etc. time. But I think levels will matter here. The reason levels didn't matter with Cross Wars was because Cross Wars was built on evolution being components, right? As evolution wasn't something that happened instantly. With it, you see that thing where in episode 30 when Shoutmon becomes Omega Shoutmon for the first time, and Tactimon's like, "How did you evolve in an instant? It took me millennia to obtain this form." So evolution was more of a Darwinian thing where it happens gradually over time in the Cross Wars universe. So, but then when you have Digicross, where you have one main Digimon and everything else just becomes a component on top of it, levels don't matter at that point. Because then it just becomes power levels are what the show writers dictate power levels are. And that's not necessarily a bad thing either. As long as it works within the context of the storytelling. But I get it. I get people didn't really like that for Cross Wars. I get it. But I thought it was an interesting concept to at least try. So, that is what it is. Mummymon might end up being a great ally later on. I hope so. I do hope he comes back. Maybe he comes back with his learned knowledge from hanging around the hospitals and just being, or if Hiro gets hurt, or maybe he helps Kyoshiro get over for whatever reason his hand is bandaged up or something. Paying off stuff like that later on down the road, it would be really nice. And and Clockmon is going to come back, right? There's no doubt about that. So having recurring villains, who are evil for evil's sake, on top of these misunderstood Digimon. Like, that's one thing I do like about the show, is that the Digimon talk and can interact. Savers kind of did this thing. He'll come back as Sistermon Blanc. Can we not do that? I don't want the perfect level mummy man coming back as the child level lolly nun. If we can not do that, I'd be super happy. But Savers did this thing, right? The whole point of the first 13 episodes of Savers, right? The first 13 episodes of Savers are monster of the week episodes. Like, it's basically a filler arc. Like the first, and I say that as somebody who Savers is their favorite series. The first 13 episodes of Savers are a massive filler arc with teensy bits of the grander mystery of the show sprinkled in, right? But one thing they really did was Digimon were coming through the barrier and they were making their way into the human world, and they were being encountered by humans whose emotions were almost corrupting their data, and that's why they would act out or attack, or they would help rob banks, and they would be used for nefarious means, right? Because they were being corrupted by human emotion. And for anyone who says, how does that work? I point you to the crests in Season 1. The crests in Season 1 are just Digisoul in a more physical, tangible form that isn't just pixel sparkles. Alright, you laugh, but that's what Digisoul is. It's just pixel sparkles. You know, but those Digimon never really talked. I think maybe one of them did. The money one, who was corrupting the baker. I think Masaru's friend's dad was a baker, and the money one gave him a gambling habit, and he got super into debt. Hey, Reiko. No worries. Look, thank you very much for joining in. I'm sorry YouTube didn't put out a notification. We were running a bit late tonight as well, so it didn't really, I suppose it didn't really help matters, but thank you for joining in all the same. But so the point I was sort of getting to is, my co-host says hi. But anyway, so the point I was kind of getting to was that there was this whole thing in Season 5 about these Digimon coming through, and the human Digisoul and Digimon corrupting each other. And we're getting an element of that in this series, only the Digimon talk. They interact, they give their reasons for what they're doing. And that's so far, like 2 episodes in, it doesn't say if that's going to continue for the whole series, but it certainly does set a very nice precedent. I gotta say, Tamer's movie with Mephistomon is great. Yeah, look, Tamer's had some very good writing to it. Like, I can't deny that. But that's what makes Clockmon and Mummymon so much more memorable already for this series than versus the Money Monster or the Dromojimon that was robbing banks, right? Because you just kind of find out later on, oh, human emotions are corrupting these Digimon, and the Digimon are basically, God, what is that thing birds do? Or I suppose most animals, where they sort of latch on to the first thing they see as its parent. Yeah, imprinting. That works. That works. It is the Twilight thing, but that is the term, right? So basically the logic was that, like, these Digimon were imprinting on the first humans that they came across and were made malleable to that human being's will. But they didn't talk, they didn't have personality outside of that. They were just a tool to move the episode along. Where this, yeah, Mummimon's just like, I'm a doctor and I want to heal people. But he's using practices from 5,000 years ago to do it. And Hero has to say, no, that's not how we do things today. Those are ancient techniques. And I think that's going to stay more memorable in the long term as one of these things you look back on the show and go, hey, remember when Mummymon thought he had to kill people to heal them? Or Marine Devimon trying to destroy the hospital. Well, that was just evil for being evil, you know? And I would have said, let Marine Devimon destroy the hospital, because He's a 50-foot tall kaiju squid monster. Yeah, of course he would destroy the hospital. But, you know, Cody exists. We weren't allowed to kill him. I don't think that stopped them in the long run, right? They still killed Marine Devimon to save the hospital. But, you know, there's... But that's a 50-foot kaiju just being evil. As opposed to Mummymon just being understood and misinterpreting the time frame that he's in because he just happened to come out in a museum dedicated to what he actually is. You know, if he had realized in the real world in a proper hospital, this episode doesn't happen because Mummimon's like, oh, penicillin, oh, surgery, oh, brilliant, I know how human medication works, this is awesome. So I'll move to the part of the episode I tried to move to before my laptop froze. Where's my display capture? Okay. So we're looking at the ranking, right? I really want to. I really don't know, and this is the problem I had last week. I don't know if Gamamon is my favorite character this week. He better get his money saved if he wants to go to medical school. Yeah. Well, Jaden Vaughn. What if Mummymon now goes to a hospital and sees surgery and then starts stabbing everyone to heal them? I would like to think he's able to show a bit more restraint now. Then again, I mean, Mummy with a giant gun. Who knows? That'd actually be hilarious. Like at the start of the next episode, we just learn about the hologram ghost that stabbed a bunch of hospital patients because he's seen a doctor with a scalpel. I mean, that'd be hilarious. I don't know if that's where they're going to go with it, but I obviously that's not where they're going to go with it. The show is creepy, not bleak. But yeah, look, I wonder if Wergururumon will show up in Ghost Game. Probably, because he's he's one of the one of the Dark Universe monsters. Are we allowed to use Dark Universe? That is, or is that just a thing that? Yeah, but it's one of those monsters, you know, Mummy, Werewolf, Dracula. So I definitely think I definitely think a Wergururumon will show up at some point. If he's a villain though, they'll probably just go with Black Wergururumon because they don't want the regular looking Wergururumon that people associate to Yamato being the villain one. I think that'd be better, but they'll probably go with Black because dark is evil. He'll appear as Black Wergururumon. Yep, see, Matthias is on the... Myself and Matthias are on the same wavelength there. I hope when this season ends we see Mummymon in a graduate uniform and a PhD. That'd be so nice! Yes, please! And Gamamon's little scream when he wanted the food and he couldn't have it. I'm just like, oh, my poor heart cannot take that. But like, Gamamon was just... He was just baby in this episode, and it was really fun. Hiro trying to juggle his new responsibility with Gamamon, chasing after Mummymon, all that stuff. You know, he's a good main character that we have so far. And Mummymon just sort of being misunderstood and just basically murdering people in order to save them. Oh, I don't know who my I'm 2 weeks in a row I'm struggling on who my favorite character should be, because it basically came down to coin toss last week for Kyoshiro. Like, now that I think about it, there's no healer in the group, and this series takes things more seriously, so the characters could end up really hurt. Yeah, definitely. if that happens, Mummymon could be the doctor they go to. And I hope that's the case. I hope that's that's his recurring role, that he's like the group doctor. That'd be fun. His redemption. Yeah, his redemption for being confused. Hero is super smart. Yeah, Hero, it's nice to have like a level-headed protagonist again. I mean, out of the 9, like we've only really had 3. Taiki, Haru, and now Hero. Well, Takato was okay, 4. You know, sort of a smarter protagonist who thinks and then comes up with a plan. You know, we've had 4 out of 9. That's not bad. You know, that means nearly half of them aren't just rush into trouble head first. Gamamon is basically Gilmon for babies. Yeah, like I did, like when he was feeding him, I'm just like, oh, this is just Takato and Gilmon all over again. And it's really fun. I like that Gamamon is just baby, but then when like his vibe check goes off, he just gets very vicious. Angry puppy. Yeah, angry Triceratops puppy. If it takes the Tamer's route, Jellymon will likely end up being the healer. Maybe. Also, Mummymon calmly answered Hero's questions about his father in the digital world. Even if he didn't know an answer, he's a nice and chill pal. Yeah, but then went, I can fix you, Hero. And that was good. I really did. I'm struggling on who my favorite character this week is again, and that's good. I think for the 3 characters that we had this week that the show focused on, Hero, Gamamon, and Mummymon, I think they're all valid choices as like the best character this week. I kind of want to go with Gamamon though, because he also did get to evolve, and his inspiration for evolving was food and Hero. And then the little scream, and chocolate being champion, and spicy food being scary. Yeah, I mean, Gamamon, I disagree with spicy food being scary, but you know, I appreciate it. You're a baby. You can't handle spicy food. That's fine. So yeah, I think my favorite character this week is Gamamon. And as for how I'd rank it out of 5, I pick Mummymon. Yeah, I mean, it's a valid choice. You know, like between Hero, Gamamon, and Mummymon, they're all... Chocolate has power over me too, right? High five. Yeah, like they're all valid choices. I don't think there's a case in this episode you can go, well, why would you like that character? I don't think there's a way of doing that this week. Even last week it was tough. So Harrismon is naive in a too trusting way now, not knowing about the world. Yeah, I still need to go back to Rearise, so I'll have to take your word for it on the Harrismon stuff, but he did seem to be Gamamon levels of baby as well, from what I recall. Maybe just maybe a teensy bit more hyperactive? But within the context of this, and not comparing it to any other show or any other sort of element of the franchise, and just judging it on its own merit, I'm gonna go with Gamamon this week. My heart couldn't take it either. No, definitely. That little scream. I can't get over it. It's so cute. But as for the score, you know what? I'm probably letting my recency bias cloud my judgment here. And in a couple of weeks, maybe I won't feel the same way. But I'm gonna give this a 5. 4.5 is a very valid score as well, Pedja. But I think this episode had a lot going for it, on par with last week's episode. The pacing was kept the same. The elements that were introduced, they let breathe for a moment so you could take it in. It still had a lot of the, oh god, what is he doing moments, similar to Clockmon. Like, I'm still not over Clockmon and the girl in the auditorium at the start of last week's episode. That thing still kind of gives me shivers. Last week had a lot to pack in, but did it well. This episode was just, it was paced well. Characters explained their motivations on both sides, Mummymon and Hero. The whole thing about, oh no, everyone can see Gamamon. Better pretend he's a hologram. Mommies of the world, just for the memes. It's like King Scream from old Owl House level of adorable. I think I'm familiar with that. But this week had room to breathe. It definitely did. You know, like Hero using like sheets to board up his and tape to board up his broken windows. Not entirely sure why the school was doing hamburgers for breakfast, even if it was a special occasion. The dinosaur is secretly a little devil imp. Well, Gulu's Gamamon would certainly give that impression. The bit where he looks at the T-Rex hologram and goes, I know a Digimon like that. And it's clearly meant to be a Greymon, even though Greymon is more of a Ceratosaurus than a T-Rex. But, you know, it's the reference, and it's the, I see what you did there, anime. I see what you did there. Not all protagonists have so much agency. They really don't, like in hindsight, they really don't have so much agency in hindsight. So I really do want this level of writing to continue, because it's making it so enjoyable. And I know it's, again, like, I know we're only 2 episodes in. It could completely fall off a cliff next week. I hope it doesn't, but it could. So I'm going in, you know, I'm keeping my expectations low, so that when the show does blow me away, it'll just skyrocket, you know, all my opinion on it. So far, these episodes are so well written. I just rewatched it and noticed when Mummymon peeks at one of Rory's friends, it was because she slightly sighed. Oh. Okay. Well, that's interesting. So maybe he took the sighing as, like, illness, and maybe that's why he peeked at her and tried to heal her. Growlmon is a raptor. Is he? I wouldn't have said that. What? Like a velociraptor? With the... Is Growlmon a... No, Growlmon's not a velociraptor. Is he? That doesn't make sense. Yeah. As the great... Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's a bit more T-Rexy than... Yeah, he's a bit more T-Rexy than Greymon. Oh, that's terrifying. Oh, that is... Oh. So, Meg came across fan art of Growlmon as a velociraptor, and cripes, it's terrifying. I might have to dim the screen. That is terrifying. Maybe he is a raptor. That's horrifying. Oh my god, I'm gonna have nightmares about that thing. That thing'll chomp your head off. As the great Drash said, we have to give it a month. If it's still good by episode 5, it'll be good for... That's a good way of looking at it. Because Adventure... God, I'm being a complete hypocrite here. Because Adventure 2020 started off... Ew! It looks so cool! So yeah, so the chat is mixed. Oh yeah, Skip's comment. Yeah, I saw that. No comment. So Yeah, because like I don't want to like again I don't want to be talking about Adventure 2020. I want to be able to judge this on its own merits. But Adventure 2020 started off very strong, and then after episode 10, that's where everything sort of went awry, or at least it started off very well and then got very jittery, and then being in the digital world is probably a lot scarier than it kind of seems in anime. I would imagine so. Like, if everything is just trying to constantly murder you, yeah, and like dinosaurs and giant wasps and firebirds and creepy, creepy beetles and wolves and oh god, giant cactuses with boxing gloves, sphinx cats. Why wasn't there in the Digimon reference in this episode? The Digimon would have fit in really well here. Huge OP monsters everywhere you look. Being in the digital world is basically being thrown into Jurassic Park. Yeah, Jurassic Park with more fire. Like what was that one they made in Jurassic World? The Adominus, was it? The Adominus Rex. Like, imagine the Adominus Rex chasing after you. Indominus, yeah, sorry. Imagine the Indominus Rex chasing after you. But instead of just roaring, it could also shoot teeth at you. It pulls a gun on you. But the dinosaurs now throw fire and travel through the underground. Yeah, that would have been neat. Would it? I don't know. I think if the Indominus Rex starts breathing fire at me or pulls a gun on me, I'm just at that point I'm just like, yeah, you win. You win. Just eat me and get it over with. It'll only hurt for a moment. I hope the digital world in this season is more interesting. Tamer's digital world is very boring to look, and 2020 is just basic. 2020 was more of a callback. 2020's digital world was 99's digital world with more vor. And it's kind of the same as Saver's digital world. It's wearing jorts and belts with guns. God. The Indominus Rex in jorts. Christ. That's cursed. Oh, that is cursed content right there. Oh, that's cursed. Tamer's digital world was supposed to be basic. Yeah. Like, it was very much just fire world, grass world. They were basically Mario levels. The Tamer's digital world were basically Mario levels, where like the Adventure 99 2000 or 2002, the Saver's digital world, they were very much more these wild these vast wildernesses that had different locales and things. But Tamers were basically Mario levels. You had Fire World, you had Grass World, you had also Cross Wars. Cross Wars' whole concept was built around traveling to Fire World, Ice World, Angel World. I'm not even joking on that one. It's interesting, just boring to look at. 2020 digital world was violent wars all the time. It wasn't, though. They had one war. Everything then just tried to eat you. There wasn't wars constantly going on. There was one big war, and then fights over territory, which we've seen twice. But it was just a lot more vor. Christ, the show really did have a lot of vor. Digivore. Frontier digital world felt like an actual world. I don't know if I can comment on that. It's been so long since I've watched Frontier. My opinion of Frontier was skewed by the main characters getting whooped for 20 episodes out of 40. Well, 50. But you know what I mean. I would have to go back and watch Frontier with a fresh set of eyes, so to speak. Like, it's been so long since I've watched Frontier I have shed every cell in my body twice. So I think I'd need to go back and watch it with fresh eyes and reform my opinions on it and see if it still has the same problems that I associate with it, or if the writing it can be forgiven. The catch is Tamer's Digital World is the bare minimum, up from a student's pet project. It hadn't really evolved. Yeah. Oh, definitely. I'm surprised on the take Ghost game is going to have with the Digital World, especially since they intentionally changed the art style and other things to make Digimon feel out of this world. Yeah, and I really do like the idea that for this show, and I think I said this last week, for what we're getting so far, I really do like this idea that instead of the kids going to the digital world and the kids having the, oh, what's all this wackiness? It's the monsters coming over and them being, you know, the monsters having the fish out of water story. I think that just makes it different enough, because eventually it is going to go the other way. But it's building up to that I'm looking forward to. Episode 37, Electmon getting his soul sucked up and Xandamon getting his head cut. Oh yeah, I'm not denying that there wasn't a violent aspect, but it just wasn't war all the time. That was more so the point I was making. Hydrate? Yes, I shall. Ugh. Season 2 of Crosswords feels like more meat to their digital world than just Nameland. Yeah, well, what, Season 2, the Death Generals of the Seven Kingdoms? Digimon 2020 are a huge fans of Frontier. They took a lot of inspiration from that series. Yeah, like making two characters the main characters. Rewatching Tamers, the D-Reaper was defeated in the weirdest and funny way. The villains being defeated. The problem is that they aren't fishes out of water, they're sharks out of water. Okay, fine. I'll concede on that one, and they're walking around us. That's a bit dangerous. Yeah, and we can't see them because, well, they're holograms. You only get to see them if you have one of these. You only get to see the hologram ghosts if you've got a specially made Fitbit. Yeah, they only mentioned 2 wars in 2020: the Shakomon, the one with Shakomon, and the Great War. But I always took the one with Shakomon to be part of the Great War, but maybe I misinterpreted the episode. Silver in the chat. Thank you for joining in. Frontier worst season, but I did like Lucimon, but I hate the cast. Yep, Mimi and Tai were the protagonists of 2020. So Mimi was the one with all the good character moments and development. Yeah. Everyone else wishes they got the same amount of love and treatment that Mimi got. Yeah, they really did like Mimi. They hated Sora, you know, so Mimi got all the good stuff. Alright. So, I mean, it's a bit tough. I can't really look at ranking the episodes when I've given the 2 episodes the same score. But I do think episode 1 was a better 5 out of 5 than episode 2, so we'll just go with that, sure. So what I'll do is I'll move over to the comments from last week, and then we'll chat for a bit and then get ready to get out of here. It seems like some of the Digimon can appear at will, like Clockmon was in the daytime. Some just wasn't noticed and people could see Mummymon, so he phased through stuff to hide. It's hard to rank when there's been nothing bad yet. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, even saying the first episode was a better 5 out of 5 than the second episode, it's a bit weird, but there's some part of my brain where that makes sense. He's talking to a bush. That's so good. I think Paimon will show up in Ghost Game. So do I. I think anything that can be creepy and scary, vampires, clowns, werewolves, Frankensteins will probably get Boltmon, or Skull Meramon, probably regular Meramon, or the blue one. Anything ghosty and spooky and scary. If it goes bump in the night, it will probably show up as a villain for an episode. So, so let me bring up the comments then from last week, and we'll try and get through those swiftly. It's only 7, so we'll be done in no time. Judgment will come when it hits some expected milestones. I see what you're getting at there. Yeah, that's fair. I'd be surprised if Mamdemon doesn't show up. So would I. If Myotismon doesn't show up, I feel like that's a missed opportunity. Now, I know I said last week, I'm happy to never see a Myotismon ever again. Between Adventure, 02, Cross Wars, Tri-Stage Play. I'm okay to never see a Vamdemon ever again in anime. But for a show like this, you kind of have to have the Dracula show up, right? So it makes sense, and he has to do that thing he did in 99 where he's actually drinking blood from people. But I understand for a lot of fans, Vamdemon just being a monster of the week probably won't go down well, and I guess we'll just batten down the hatches if that happens, because I can't imagine a lot of people are going to be happy if that happens. Watch them not have Bakuman just to subvert the expectations. Also true, yeah. If it goes again, I stand by what I said. If it goes bump in the night, it should show up in some capacity. And there's a lot of Digimon that are just terrifying to look at that they've never done anything with. But if they do rely on some of the old nostalgia pops for an episode or two, that's probably not the worst either, or if the Bakuman or like the Putty Squad for a bigger for the villain of the week or something. Dagomon to appear. Oh, Dagomon. Oh, you had so much potential that the writers got scared of and went no. I'm kind of happy he didn't make Kari his queen and make her have his babies, but it's still. Yeah, for that reason, primarily for that reason, she is a baby. I'm glad that didn't happen, but they just never followed. They just went, this episode never happened. We'll acknowledge it when Ken is having Dark Ocean troubles, but this episode never happened. We'll tiptoe around the idea that Hikari has seen the Dark Ocean. We'll tiptoe around it. But yeah. I'm okay to never see a Vamdemon again, but it makes sense if you also. I forgot in Cross Wars, Myotismon was basically just clones from Quartzmon, but not even that. There was Neo Vamdemon as well, the one that looks more like a Beelzemon evolution than it does a Vamdemon evolution. But it's, it's still another Vamdemon or another Myotismon. So. Yeah, I'm okay with not seeing that evolution line for a while. But I understand. Again, this is the spooky horror themed show. Dracula kinda needs to show up. Not gonna lie, episode reminds me of Night in the Museum. Understandably so. Possibly intentional, given the theming, but yeah, works out. But welcome, Nick. Yes, we need to redeem Dagomon after what happened to him in 02. Yeah, just make him spooky. Don't make him want to turn the lollies into his brides. Just make him scary Cthulhu. That's all you need. Because that's all he is. He's just a Cthulhu. He doesn't need to be breeding. Anyway, so comments from last week before I throw up. We'll start with Connor Donahue. Thank you for watching as always. This was a very good first episode. I liked how they didn't actually have to kill Clockmon in order to defeat him. So maybe the fights in this series will rely more on strategy and planning instead of just brute force, which would be a very welcome change. And I think this episode did that very well. So I think you'll be happy with the outcome of this week's episode. Dark Ocean has been long overdue explanation. We're never going to touch it again. And they're not. I don't even think it'll come up in the 02 movie that's coming out soon. Even though that's based on in the original adventure timeline and is set after Kizuna. We're never touching it ever again. Because the writers don't know what it is. Because the writing cast changed so much over the course of that show. That's why there's so many plots that are just... This week it's Dark Spire monsters. This week it's Destiny Stones. This week it's blood DNA making monsters. This week it's seeds. You know, the show never had a consistent narrative after Ken was defeated, so I just don't think we're ever going to touch the Dark Ocean ever again. Maki died in it. That's the last time we've seen it. And I think that's all we're ever going to get from it going forward. If they give Myotismon an evolution in Ghost Game, they could with Volto Bautamon. Yeah, I could see that. Or they'll probably just use Neo Vamdemon. They really don't want us to give us... Yeah. Dark Ocean is an outdated thing. It's just the Dark World. Great. Sleek, thanks. Now I've got the Dark World theme from Zelda stuck in my head. Oh, man. Okay. Anyway. So, speaking of Sleek, you are our next comment up. So, your comment from last week's episode. Really good episode. Much better than the reboot stuffing so much in the first episode. I like that this season seems to be more like Appmon, a more sci-fi horror focused season. Appmon seems to be more focused on the technology and AI, while Ghost Game seems to be more holograms and humans, so it's a nice change. It's a nice change in plot while the concept is still the same. Gamamon is so cute, a combination of Gatchmon and Gilmon. I guess the best boy partners are always the ones that start with the letter G. Hero's dad reminds me of Shinkai Denemon. Hopefully the main villain is interesting, unlike almost every villain in the last season who were terrible. Looking at you, reboot. And hopefully there's no magical ass pull. Appmon and Tamers are the only ones that rarely do a magic ass pull. Just solve their problems with computer logic, please. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's nothing that we haven't been talking about for the weeks, you know. But it's Digimon. You know, the power of friendship is always going to be a thing. There's no getting away from that. But it is about the presentation and whether it works within the concept of what's happening, or if it just comes across as a Deus Ex Machina. And given that this is a kid show, hate that. Well, not that I hate that, but I appreciate that, and I understand that I'm somebody who has been part of this franchise since I was the age group that the franchise is intended for. Well, the anime portions of it anyway. I realize I'm maybe not the target demographic, but I think the power of friendship is going to always be a magic ass pull. The dark web would sound better than dark network. Well, the comments, the chat. Dark Ocean is an outdated thing. It's just the Dark World. Black War Greymon versus Chaos Dramon might happen. I don't think we've anything to suggest that as of yet, but all things are possible. You mean the Dark Network? Well, the Dark Network was Edamon's thing, right? That was the thing he got sucked into, wasn't it? And came back as a floating bunch of wires. The Dark Web is, well, it's an actual internet thing. So that... But the Dark Web isn't the Dark Ocean. The Dark Ocean is another pocket universe within the digital world, similar to the pocket dimension they all fought Belial Vamdemon in at the end of 02. It's digital world weirdness, and unfortunately I don't have an answer for everything. I wish I did, because there's a lot of stuff I would like definitive answers for, but I can only try and make sense of what's presented to me in the moment. Yeah, that was the Edamon thing. Power of friendship can work in shows, but not always for any show. Yeah, again, it's always it's always about the presentation, rather than it being a Deus Ex Machina or something that's been built up over the course of a number of episodes. And I understand, like, it's the Deus Ex Machinas that people don't like, because when you're outside of the target demographic, you want the writing to be smarter. And I think we'll be okay so far based on what we've seen in these last 2 weeks. But, we just do have to remember sometimes, and even I'm guilty of this, especially during the reboot, I'm not the target demographic, but that doesn't mean the show has to be dumbed down or the show has to belittle its audience. So, we still call out the writing when it sucks. I don't think there's anything harmful in that. And, it's always healthy discussion to look at what the show could have done better to get its points across and its morals across. The moral lesson of the week that you want the kids to take home and take to heart and remember and, permeate in the back of their minds. It's always sort of good to look at that and see if the entertainment value of it is worthwhile. Why am I sounding like a parent? Oh, no, I just want to watch monsters shoot each other. Anyway. Okay, the thought has killed me. Let me just take a sip of water here. Hold on. I say all this with the giant Wormmon plushie behind me, right? So, don't worry. I'm fully aware of the irony. Or the, hypocrisy. Don't die. Thanks, coach. Wait, you're not Blunter. Chug that water. So, right, moving on then. Next comment is from Pedja. Good God, it's an essay. We'll, I kid. I'm always appreciative of the interaction. I always am. I'm always appreciative of the... Wormmon is my baby. Digimon is a life lesson. There we go. Digimon aren't just for Christmas, they're for life. Right, so let's have a look here at Pedja's comment. I'll try and get through it as quick as I can, but... So, great first episode. That began with the girl in the Clockmon was spooky and I loved it. Yeah, I really like the dark tone of the show. We already see great characters interaction. Gamamon is adorable. Damn right. I like Hero so far. Koshiro is funny with his talismans. Sorry that Hero's friend Nomura is an idiot. He's literally taking pictures of Clockmon instead of running. Yeah, because people are idiots and would do that. Because everyone wants their Instagram clicks. Hey, look at the monster that's about to murder me. Oh no. Oh no, I'm dead. Click. Mood. Yeah. And everyone, everyone just comment mood underneath it. Yeah. Well, comedy romance for the next season. I'm not gonna lie. A more shoujo Digimon series I think would be kind of fun as a change of pace. I don't think it's ever going to happen. We're never going to get Digimon Sailor Moon, but I'd be down for that as an experimental season. A group of girls as the main group, yeah. I'd watch it. Like, that's but I'm gonna try and get through this comment here and then I'll come back to see what the chat is saying. Yeah, so he's taking pictures of Clockmon instead of running, and he's convincing Hero to do wrong decisions. Hey look, Hero carried around a lockpicking kit for reasons, so I don't think Hero needs convincing. I'm hoping he's not a chosen one. I think he will be. I think he'll join the show later on. Now, as for Hero's father, he's looking too happy and he's not worrying about anything. I think he's just maybe just trying to make the best of the situation he's in. It's hard to say without getting into more without seeing more of him. And I think we'll see more of him as the cast grows, and then we can get a sense for how he's really feeling about things or being trapped in the digital world and things like that. So I'm not going to write it off yet, but he's an aloof character, and yeah, I don't think it's necessarily bad. Also, a hint of Gamamon's Dark Digivolution was great. It was seeing Gulus Gamamon there, because that was one thing I do like about Gamamon last week and this week, is that he's baby, but when the vibe check goes off, he gets very vicious. And that leading into Gulus Gamamon is going to be interesting to see. What I'm not sure of is when we'll see him. Like, will he unlock after the other 3 Gamamon evolutions unlock? Will that be sort of the thing? You've learned how to evolve into these 3 forms, and by their powers combined, I am Captain Planet. Well, Captain Pollution, I guess, is probably the more apt. You get what I'm getting at anyway. Gamamon's Break Claw move was cool. Like I said, great first step. I'm guessing next week we see Gamamon's Red Champion form versus Mummymon. Good call. So Clockmon survived to fight another day. That he did, and I'm looking forward to seeing Clockmon come back. There are many familiar Digimon in the opening, like Vamdemon, Lady Devimon, the Dark Masters. Yeah. I hope that the final villain will be something new like Negamon was for the reboot. Probably will. The show doesn't really like, or the franchise I should say, doesn't really like reusing the same villains from different continuities. So Vamdemon getting reused worked within the continuity of that universe. But Tamers, you had the D-Reaper. Frontier, you had Lucemon, who was in Cross Wars, but he wasn't the main villain. He was kind of a sub-boss, if you will, using video game logic, a mid-boss. So there weren't really any holdovers where previous shows' villains have been used, and I think that'll continue. So I don't think you have to worry about it not being something new. A brand new Digimon, but maybe Gamamon's Dark Evolution will play a big role. Well, he is on the poster, right? Do I still have the poster loaded up in OBS, or did I delete it? No, I deleted it. Okay. Well, I mean, we've seen from the poster that Gulus Gamamon is right at the back. Those are his eyes, and you can see the little design thingy on his head. So I definitely think he's going to play a role in the first arc of the show, if not maybe something a bit more long-term. But I definitely think he'll play a part in the first arc of the show. And one of Gamamon's megas is Chaosdramon, right? As far as this goes, yes. But we don't know if what's in this will apply to the anime. That could just be in here to fill slots. Because Gamamon's true mega form isn't in here. And I still think we're going to get a secondary chip for that down the road, but that could just be something for the Vital Bracelet and not really have any effect on the show. Because Aegisdramon is also a mega, as is Mecha Brachiomon or Ultra, whatever the other Brachiomon. That looks like Titanus from Power Rangers. Every week I come back to Power Rangers. That's funny. Alright, so moving on to the... Alright, so hold on. Let me have a look at what the chat is saying, and then I'll go back to the comments. So, let's have a look here. Oh yes, a comedy romance. Tough question. Who's more adorable, Wormmon or Gamamon? Wormmon. Gamamon's cute, but he's not going to replace Wormmon for me. That is blasphemy. That is blasphemy. Don't you dare try and turn me against Wormmon. That is never happening. He is my partner. But anyway, let's have a look here. The love triangle between Seraphimon, Ophanimon, and Cherubimon gets fiercer. But while Seraphimon and Cherubimon fight between them, Ophanimon is in a date with a young Witchmon. Yes, let's have our big love quadrangle shoujo Digimon series that just focuses on the Digimon. There's no humans. It's just the Digimon. You've got your Ophanimon, you've got your Witchmon, you've got Darkmon, you've got Lady Devimon, Master. Yeah, just focus on the just to make it a big lesbian show. Sure, why not? That'd be funny actually. It would never get greenlit, but it'd be fun. It's a shame it would never get greenlit, but you know, we're just not ready. We're just not ready to have that conversation yet, I think. I want to see that. Yeah, so do I, Reiko. Thank you. So, not gonna lie, I love a Digimon with rom-com. Maybe do 2 small pages of that since I like the idea. Nice. I'm up for comedy romance Digimon series personally. See, like the chat seems to love the idea. So yeah, cool. It'd be such a mood whiplash to go from the horror show to the rom-com show though. Magical Girl Digimon only if it's a spin-off series like Vanguard Mini. Speaking of, they tried a spin-off season that was MG themed and it was very awkward to watch. Oh no. I will have to inquire with you about that later, Yami. I want the evolution stages to be used like Power Rangers. Now, hear me out. The perfects are giant, so they're the Megazords. You don't throw them out if the enemy is too small. I see where you're coming from on that. I think that'd be an interesting concept. You take the trope of make my monster grow and you apply it to power levels. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down on that one. That's fun. Tentomon will always be my partner. He's been with me since '99. Well, that concept did happen. We need a manga like that. Oh my god, it'd be so fun. Yeah, like I think a manga is where you go with something like that. I don't. Sadly, it would never get greenlit as an anime. But I think if you just do a spin-off manga, like something similar to Saintia Show compared to Saint Seiya, where you're focusing on a group of 5 saints who are just all like Athena's bodyguards, and their adventures and stories exist in the same timeline and universe as the main Saint Seiya stuff, but it's just a backstory that's going on that has no implications or interference on that main continuity. It's all these adventures happening in the background, so you don't fiddle with anything. I'd be down for it either way. Separate his Wormmon with Digivolve into Stingmon and use Spiking Strike. Yeah, and then Warp Evolve to Bancho Stingmon and just murder everybody. I'd like a Digimon series with no humans, just Digimon. It'd be great to see. Holy what show? I want Tentomon to be my butler more than my partner. Oh, that's poor Tentomon. How could you insult Tentomon like that? Who would you want as a partner for the ones you know so far? Right, Meg says she'll come back to us on that one, so that'll be fun. Right, so let me jump back into the comments then. So Kira Ina 25 or Kirina, anyway, maybe it is Kira Ina. 2713. That's the second fucking time I've seen that joke done in an anime. The first being a throwaway gag in that one Sengoku era side story that the Kenshin author Watsuki did. Is this a cultural thing? Like it's a long-standing quasi-referential joke in Japanese culture to give someone a talisman and have it turn out to be a safe childbirth one? Yes. Yeah. No, it is. I've seen it happen in a couple of things as well. You know, it's yeah, it is. It is just one of those jokes where the crazy talisman wielding protected against every known element you could think of character passes along a talisman, and it's a safe childbirth thing. Yeah, it is. It's a running gag in Japanese media. I think that's probably why the subtitles didn't translate it. Right? The subtitles didn't show off what the talisman said, so the joke kind of gets lost in translation. But I do think it's funny that he gets a safe childbirth talisman, and then 5 minutes later is told he has a little brother. Like, that's the setup and payoff to that. Outside of Kyoshiro running off, unzipping his tracksuit and just having a billion talismans around his neck. But the initial payoff is safe childbirth, you've a little brother now. And I enjoy that a lot. Eitaro says, I'm including the sigh. Eitaro says, I truly, honestly, really want to praise this show on merits that aren't It's Not Adventure : but this single episode and a good chunk of Adventure : was like night and day in the writing department. The antagonist Digimon talked. It had an actual personality. It emoted. We saw Clockmon get frustrated when Hero escaped. The protagonists have actual relationships with other non-protagonist humans. Yeah, that's a scary one. The real world actually matters, giving us a reason to care when things get blown up. Where was this the past year? And I can't. I feel like I've spent 70 episodes, 70 weeks saying that. I can't elaborate or deliberate further on that. I can't. I'm not letting those last 70 weeks mutate my feelings on this show. But no, you're right on every point, and it's something that we've continuously spoken about. And I at this stage, I don't know what else I can say. You hit the nail on the head. I don't know what else I can say at this point that I haven't said already. My voice is getting shot thinking about having to think about this, so I'm going to take the sip of water again, and we'll check back in on the chat. And then we've only 2 comments left, and we'll get ready to wrap things up. When I was young, I always wanted Agumon as my partner. Yeah, that's fair. Like, he's the mascot of the franchise. You know, he's the Pikachu, if you will. So that makes sense. I could see a lot of people wanting an Agumon. I probably did too until Adventure 02 happened and I fell in love with Wormmon. So, yeah, I could. Yeah, also, it's not insulting Tentomon. He seems like he makes good tea and he's always serving snacks. Izzy needs a carer. Now I want Shoutmon as my partner. That's a good choice. You'd get a fun concert out of him if nothing else. I feel bad for the partners in 2020. Most of their personalities are just one note, except the Holy Digimon. Well, mostly Patamon. Gatomon kind of felt forgotten. Oh, Tailmon, or Gatomon if we're using dub terms for the sake of the comment here. You all better leave Tentomon. Tailmon retaining her memories and leading the group to Faga, like she was they had a really good gimmick going with her when she first joined the team, where she was like, no, we're not doing filler episodes, let's go to the plot. They had this interesting gimmick going, and then they just sort of gave up on that like 3 weeks later. And then we got a bunch of filler anyway. But she was wasted potential with the whole, we need to get to Faga. Faga is dangerous. We can't let Millenniumon resurrect. We need to get to Faga now. Okay, what is Faga? There's a perfectly good explanation for that. And we move on. Again, I don't know what else to say at this point. I don't know what else to say that I haven't said for the last 70 weeks. Probably less than that. I was very good to the show in the early weeks, but so it's probably less than 70. But I always think the 67 episodes plus the hiatus that it went on when, you know, the C virus happened. So I don't know what else I can say on it anymore. I can't complain. I don't want to. I want to be done with Adventure 2020. It's just not worth riling yourselves up on anymore. It's gone. It's over. It can't hurt us anymore. The beast has been slain. Let's just enjoy the new stuff that we have that's exciting and well written and funny and cute. So you all better leave Tentamon. Yami, my vote is for Kudamon. I fell in love with Satsuma's snarky but loyal buddy. Yeah, Satsu, I could definitely see you with a Kudamon. Yami, I could definitely see that. I liked Armadimon though. May have been that western twang he had when speaking. Yeah. A bit of a cowboy, wasn't he? I love that they actually retconned his line though later on in the show. Like he used when he armor evolved. In a way, all the armor evolutions are like the fire of power or the fire of courage and the storm of friendship and whatever nonsense. So they used to call when Armadimon would evolve to Digimon, in the dub he always used to say the drill of power. And I was like, that doesn't make sense because he's evolving with the crest of knowledge. Now knowledge is power, but it didn't really work in the context. So later on in the show, he evolves and goes, Digimon, the drill of knowledge. I know I usually say power, but I think knowledge makes me sound smarter. And that was how they retconned it. And he just started saying knowledge from then on out. Like the writers realized their mistake and went, let's make a joke out of it. And it's a fun little retcon. It's a fun little retcon, and it's an enjoyable one because they worked it into the canon. They didn't just change it and say nothing. They went, let's do a thing. Let's make it a bit. I do appreciate that. I want Gatchmon to be my partner. Yeah, having Google search at your fingertips is quite handy, as anybody with a phone will tell you. Like my favorite Appmon is Navimon, so I'm not even saying that facetiously. Having Google Maps at my fingertips is quite fun when I need to look up stuff. But oh no. I want Gatchmon to be my partner because his ability is so useful. Yeah, okay. Tentamon is a really caring Digimon. That he is. Tentamon's a sweetheart. Meg, I would love a Kulumon. That's Kalumon for the dub. Because cute. I haven't seen enough to say yet who I would choose. To say I would choose it as a partner. It would be too awkward for my partner to evolve into Anjumon or someone like that. Yeah. Don't encourage her, chat. Just don't encourage her. Palomon doesn't evolve. Spoilers. Facts. Digimon 2020 is done. Over kaput. Let's move on. Exactly. A friendship is a storm. Yeah. They certainly can be stormy. Friendships can definitely be stormy. Sorry, that has a lot more relevance this weekend than I would like it to, but that's a personal thing. Gamamon gives me Gatchmon vibes. Well, I think it's more so the color scheme and the energy. He's not running around going gamma 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 gamma. I don't think I could do that 2 seasons in a row. It worked for Gatchmon. Let's not repeat that. Renamon seems like a really good partner too. Love her mature style and seems to be quite level-headed. But wouldn't be hounding me to eat 24/7. Wouldn't be hounding me. Oh, okay. I know I did read that right. I thought I read it wrong. I thought I read it wrong, and I thought I read it as wouldn't be hounding to 24/7. Just like, jeez. All right. Now we'll jump back into the comment section then from last week. So Clatter Glass, thank you for watching and commenting. As much as I'm looking forward to more Ghost Game, I can't help but feel like Tesla Jellymon was done dirty in both design and opening. Especially in design, she looks like a 10 to 12-year-old kid with terrible taste in clothes. I have nothing against humanoid Digimon such as Zephyrmon or Aegeomon, but I wish Jellymon's champion form would be a bit more like Tobyumon, Kuzurumon, but more Sea Slug like or Manta Raymon. Not trying to be shallow, but the designers could have made her a bit more pretty like Lovely Angelmon or Harpymon. I think it's because she's only in the opening sequence for like a second. It's probably tough to judge. Like, as I remember on the DigiNavi, that I did the watch along for that, and then I pre-recorded that, right? So they were talking about Jellymon's design with Hero's voice actress, and the guy that hosts DigiNavi, he was like, I don't like her. She's too many tentacles. Why does she have so many tentacles? She's clearly evil. And he turns around to Hero's voice actress and he says, so what does she evolve into? More tentacles? Or something. The joke was something to that effect. And she says, oh, she might evolve into this elegant looking young woman. And oh yeah, and then he says, or just more tentacles. So I think, I don't know if seeing Tesla Jellymon from the opening is enough to really make that call, because when the evolution itself happens, she might look a lot better than what we're seeing so far, because you'll have the more detailed animation for the episode, you'll have the CG for the evolution itself. I can appreciate that. At the same time, she doesn't look like Zephyrmon or Chutumon, if you prefer the Japanese name. Or even Fairymon or Kazemon if you prefer the dub name. Don't know why Fairymon became Kazemon, but sure. I can appreciate that. But I wouldn't be making a judgment call on it personally until I see her in motion and not in that split second that we do in the opening. But I can totally see why people might have preferred her to be a bit more shoujo, I guess. We're coming back to shoujo themes a lot this week. That's interesting. Mm-hmm. So, I think Terriermon would be a good partner for me to... No comment. Anyway, wait for the ultimate evolve. Maybe she looks better. The evolution theme was really good. I hope we can hear the whole thing soon. Yeah, the evolution. I did love the evolution song this week. Getting to hear the whole thing would be really nice. I'm sure it'll come out on a CD or something in a couple of weeks with the opening and the ending. That's generally how these work. I know with the opening, when the for 2020, that's what they did as well. You had the opening and be the winner, and then they released Extreme Fight. You know, that was a secret bonus that they announced later on. So I think like I'd say sometime in December maybe, or early next year, we'll get a CD with the opening, the ending. Well, I guess this is probably ending 1 of 12, but I guess we'll see where that goes. But we'll probably get a video. We'll probably get a CD with the opening, the ending, and the evolution song. It's probably going to be out with the full song on YouTube as well. Yeah, because someone will buy the CD and just upload the song. I mean, that's how they end up on YouTube. But although, to be fair, with Adventure 2020, Tanimoto, they did just release his music videos for those songs, but generally that doesn't happen, and you just get somebody who bought the CD uploading the song to YouTube. But if they upload the music videos from the bands themselves, yeah, that'd be great. Support the official releases where you can. So I think that'd be really fun. So then our last comment of the night comes from, as ever, Justin's Game. Thank you very much. Digimon Ghost Game is so refreshing. Just let me have this before we go back to the adventure series in the original timeline. Please, God. I really like the opening theme. It's pretty catchy, and I really like the scary theme they have here. Whoever thought Clockmon OG of all things would be scary? I even like his catchphrase of him saying, Ima Nanji, before he takes your time. So far, I think I like what they're doing with Kyoshiro. Him being freaked out is actually pretty funny, but the best by far is Gamamon. I love when he says, Ore Gamamon. Yeah, it's adorable. He is the cutest thing ever. He's a child level, but he's like a baby. A pretty strong baby. To beat an adult level without evolution. We haven't seen a Digimon not evolve in the first episode. And I'm okay with it, actually. Not evolve in the first episode. I think this meant to say since Tamers, because Tamers does get mentioned there. And I'm okay with that, actually. Since Gamamon didn't kill Clockmon, it just means he'll be back one day. I hope so, personally. Which is interesting. And in episode 2, we're getting Mummymon as a perfect level already. How will they deal with that? And yeah, no, I mean that's all great. I really do like that the community response as a whole seems to have been, this show is great so far. That's been really fun to see. There's probably a couple of outliers. I'd already seen it in the build up to Ghost Game where people were just like, oh, it's going to be like Yokai Watch, and this isn't Digimon. I hate and kind of just wouldn't acknowledge it before it even started. But I think these past 2 episodes have shown that the yokai or the hologram ghost concept does work, and having these Digimon be fish or sharks out of water, and causing commotion in the real world and getting into shenanigans, is going to be pretty fun it's going to be pretty fun. Ghost Game is great. Yes, it is. GG, Ghost Game. GG. Alright. He would Digivolve in Legendary Water Warrior Renamon. Sorry, what? She would Digivolve into the Legendary Warrior of Water, Renamon from Frontier. That was Ranamon. That was Ranamon. Yeah, she would turn into Ancient Mermaimon. Yeah. Sorry, I read Renamon and I got super confused. Like, oh no, you wait, Ranamon. Yeah. Oh, but oh yeah, like it happens. There's a lot of them that are like that, and it's so easy to make typos, and so it's cool. It's cool. It happens. But yeah, no. So chat, look, that is kind of where we're finishing up for this week. There is no episode next week, but I will try and put something out. It won't be anything live, but I will try and get something out so that there's something here next week, and we'll just keep the momentum going. But when I do see you back here live, it is going to be 2 weeks from now, unless you're following me over there on Twitch. Next time I see you guys live, it's going to be 2 weeks from now, and I'm going to have a whole different backup behind me, or a whole different backdrop, a whole different setting. Everything's going to be new and scary and less ghost hands. More, well, I'll have a co-host in 2 weeks. That's going to be fun. So the scene here will change up a little bit, you know, but we'll still have the same energy. We'll still have the same back and forth banter. Banter? Why do I always put a H on things? It'll be the same back and forth energy, the same banter, just us having a conversation, but be somebody new as well. And I hope you like the new place. Oh, thank you. So do I. So do I. But no, I mean, all joking aside, there's some change coming in a couple of weeks, and it's I think it'll be fun, and it'll give a bit of freshness to the overall vibe of the channel as well, which is going to be really fun. And just thank you guys for being a part of that. I say it every week. Sunday has become my favorite day of the week, just to be able to talk Digimon and hang out with you guys, and just the community is fun, and thank you guys for that. I do appreciate it. So we will leave it there. Look after yourselves, chat. Eat well, sleep well. The hand is back. So eat well. Oh no. Anyway, right, I can't do that bit again. So, your hair is beautiful, by the way. Thank you. I conditioned. Stop you. Bad. Thank you. Yeah, no, it's the conditioner. So, thank you for the compliments. But yeah, no, it's all thanks to Ghost Game. Yeah, but even before Ghost Game, like our live chats and everything, along with, you know, for Adventure 2020, you know, it's Sunday has always been the best part of the week since we start doing these live. I do appreciate it. So right, so I gotta wrap this up. The bit I need to say is you guys are great. Thank you so much. I need to go sort out this troublemaker, so we are gonna leave this here. Do I have any cookies left? I do. Well, I've plenty of Mikados left. I do. The cookies haven't been opened. But yeah, okay. So I'm gonna go sort out this troublemaker. I will see you guys back here in 2 weeks. Unless you're following me over there, I'll probably see you there tomorrow. But look after yourselves, take care, hydrate, be good, and thank you very much as always. My name is AJ. I have been your host for the Code Crown podcast. Thank you very much for watching. See you all soon. Bye, Meg. See you all. Done.